Hello, and a good morning, good afternoon, and a very good evening to you, the good and wonderful people of the tube. Hope well today, hope you're feeling grand, and always my world. Hello everybody. Today's vid, everybody, is about this beautiful thing here. This is my current live pedal board that I'm going to basically show you and talk you through and let you hear later on in the vid today. This is also the board that I used to record the entirety of the Dave Simpson Trio album. I didn't use any other pedals. What you see here is what I used, and that was it. So I'm going to talk a bit about what I used and how, and at the end of the video I'm just going to play through it and let you hear all these things. So let's get into it, shall we? So, first pedal from the amp is the Zoom G2.1U. If you've been around this channel long enough, you know I love and adore these things, and they're just my happy place. I could actually go to a gig with just this and be very happy bunny. But why have just one when you can have many? In all fairness, I want more. So I need to get a bigger power supply because this is all I can run at this point in time. Anyway, the first pedal in the line is the Zoom G2.1U. I use this for a tuner. I use it for the expression pedal is set up for reverb and whammy. So different patches, like A7 is my kind of go-to kind of clean patch. The expression pedal on that patch, it adds reverb. So all the way back is no reverb, and as I increase the pedal, it gives me more, basically. So when it's all the way forward, it's just massively ambient, and you'll hear that in a bit. I also have other patches set up for chorus. I have set some set up for whammy. I have one patch set up for the song, the Dave Simpson Trio song "Overcome," which needs a guitar harmony. So I use the inbuilt harmonizer in the G2. I just love it. It's just my go-to pedal. It's like the brain of the pedal board, if you will. So that's the first pedal in line. Oh, I also use it for a little bit of. I have the compressor on, but I don't actually use the compression. So I have it with no compression, but I use the volume of the compressor to just punish the front end of the amp a little bit, much in the same way Andy Timmons does. So that's going on there. So very simple but awesome, and I love it to bits. And these things have been a staple of my live setup since 2005. I think. I don't think I've ever, been too far away from the G2s. So that's the first pedal. Second pedal in line is the Line 6 DL4 delay modeler. Love this pedal. Absolutely amazing delay pedal. Just works. Jobs are good one. So I have it set up like this. So this button here is set up for like a really long, mad, over-the-top delay. You heard it in the intro jam right at the very end, when I clicked it on, and it just kind of created that big, long, kind of like massive delay sound. And I use that for kind of like volume swells and to create ambience, and also to kind of like, it's really cool to hit like one note in the solo and hit that, turn it on, let it go, and then turn it off again. It's really cool. It's a Jimi Hendrix kind of Voodoo Child Slight Return kind of in the studio kind of thing. I really like it. So that's a really drastic delay. It's a digital delay. I like digital delay. I don't really like analog delay, to be honest with you. I like to retain the clarity. I don't really like dark delays. Number two, the B section of the next one along on the Line 6 is a more Dave Murray solo delay. So it's kind of a bit more subtle. It's not as drastic, and again, you'll hear that in a bit. And again, just the digital delay, very simple, nice and easy. Number 3 here, or C, if you will, that one is my reverse delay. And that's basically just that Jimi Hendrix Castle Made of Sand sound, which is just gorgeous and love it. And it's so fun to do it. Have it live. It's really good fun. And I like playing slow blues tracks and then turning that on and just letting that be the solo. So I'll play normal way and it will just flip everything. And I have it totally wet as well. I don't have any of the dry guitar signal in there at all, as you'll hear in a bit. It's just literally the effect. I don't have any of the dry signal whatsoever. And that's the Line 6. I do use the tap tempo quite a lot, especially on the second delay. I don't really use tap tempo a great deal on the first delay, but I do use it on the second quite a lot. I do like tap tempo. Okay, so moving along, next pedal is the Marshall Governor 2 Plus. And this is literally my favourite distortion pedal ever made next to this one, which we'll talk about in a bit. But these are my favourite 2 distortions. Okay, so this pedal has been on my board forever, like since about 2007. No, 6, I tell a lie. I've had this pedal since 2006, and I just love them. This isn't my original one, but I have 3 of these, and I love them. And again, because Marshall don't make these anymore, as soon as I see one and I can afford it, I buy it. Just because I just love them so much. They're basically like an amp in a box. They feel like a hot-rodded plexi, and I just love them to bits. They're so good. And basically I use this for kind of, quite a lot of the trio set, to be honest with you. I use this as my main distortion in conjunction with the next pedal we'll talk about in a minute. But it's basically all the gain. Yeah, I don't have the gain there's no shy gain on this pedal. It's just all the gain, no treble, no bass. I have the deep dial turned all the way up, which is basically a bass, but it's a little bit nicer. And I have a volume on 3/4, so it's at 3 o'clock. So it's a very driven pedal. I really crank it on his mids as well. I turn up the mids to have a bit of cut. But this pedal is amazing. The Marshall Governor 2 Plus is one of my favourite distortion pedals ever, and I'm still yet to find a distortion pedal like this that does what this does. That makes me as happy as this one does. So that's that one. Next in line we have the Golden Plexi by Tone City. Now this pedal is basically a always on pedal, or nearly always on. There is one point in the trio set, the song Overcome, I was talking about earlier on, it uses the harmonizer. I don't use the Golden Plexi on all the time for that. It actually gets turned off, and I just literally go straight to the clean signal of the amp. So basically at that point you're just hearing the clean amp, and that's what you hear on the album if you've heard the album. So that's that, and it's basically an always on, and this is what gives me that kind of like John Frusciante dirty clean tone, and I love this to bits. And this pedal works with everything here. It really does. It's amazing. It loves everything. It really does. Golden Plexi by Tone City is just one of the best pedals. Again, I love it to bits. I run it, again, very low gain, no tone, the volume's at 12 o'clock. And it's just that perfectly dirty clean tone. Like it's my John Frusciante go-to tone, basically. I love this to bits. It's next to my jackhammer. So but that's another video for another time. So from the Golden Plexi, then the next pedal we hit is the Vox Silvertop Wah, the V847 487, or I don't know. It's the chrome topped Vox, and this is my favorite wah pedal ever made. It beats the Ibanez WH10. It beats any wah pedal I've ever played. I just love this thing so much. It's so expressive. I can still do all the John Frusciante stuff with this pedal. I'm not missing anything with this pedal. It's just perfect. It's nice and quiet. It's not true bypass, which I love. I don't like true bypass wah pedals. I really don't get on with the tonality of them at all. This is not. I like how noisy it is. It's just amazing. And it's just a plug in and play. There's no bells and whistles on this. No dials. Nothing to mess with. Plug in and play. Turn it on. Turn it off. Job's a good one. One thing I have done to it is I've done the Jimi Hendrix mod where underneath the tread plate here, I've removed the rubber feet so it's easier to turn on. I can turn it off and on really easily. And that's so I can do Jimi Hendrix things and be kind of like the Voodoo Child thing that you'll hear in a bit. I'll try and demo it. And if I remember, but yeah, it's just amazing. That's the only thing I've ever done. I've done to this pedal. Really, is just take those rubber feet off. Okay, moving along. Next pedal, the gloriousness. Bow down, humans, for this is marvelous. The Boss DS2, everybody. This is literally, again, next to the Governor. This is one of my favorite distortion pedals ever made, and I'm yet to find another pedal that sounds like this and does what this does and makes me as happy as this one does. Again, John Frusciante inspired me to use this pedal, and I just love it. It's so smooth and warm and nice, and especially with the Golden Plexi. I never run this on its own though. I always run it with the Golden Plexi or the Governor. I never run it straight like that. It just doesn't sound nice, but combining it with the Golden Plexi, I'm in heaven. And basically I just have everything on max. Everything's turned up to 10. Levels on max. Tone is on full high. distortion's on max, and I have it set to mode 2 all the time. I very rarely, if ever, turn it to mode 1. So, DS2. Moving along. Overlooked pedal, I feel. The Dunlop Roto Vibe. This is basically a uni vibe, and this is just an amazing pedal. So you have chorus and vibrato in this. I just use it for the chorus, the machine gun tone, if you will. And I have the dial maxed out all the time. I don't mess with it. But I love the fact you can alter it. Like, like the original uni vibe, but Jimmy had the expression pedal. And I love the fact you can alter this. I love the sound of this. It's not the strongest uni vibe. It's not. And it doesn't quite whoosh as much as some others. But I love it for what it is, and it still sounds great, and it's here, and it's just amazing. So, from the uni vibe, the Roto vibe, sorry, brings us to our last pedal, the Electro Harmonix Double Muff. This thing has been on this board for ages. I've had this same pedal board set up since probably 2008, maybe. The pedals haven't really changed, to be honest with you. I try to move away from this board, and I always keep coming back to it because it just works. But yeah, let's go to the double muff. So the double muff I use in a very, very weird way. So it's basically two fuzzes in one, and there's no real volume to it. It's just kind of like an amount of fuzz. And I always have it on the double setting, and I only ever use the double muff in conjunction with the governor. And I tend to run the fuzzes really low. So this fuzz, the second fuzz I run at 12 o'clock, and the fuzz number 1 I run at 9 o'clock. And it gives me just this very, very low fuzz tone. Yeah, I'll show you it in a bit. But when I combine it with the governor, it just blooms. It's massive, and it's really, really cool, and it's really warm. But, like all good fuzz pedals, when I have these two on, I can control literally everything from my guitar's volume, which, for me, having to sing as much as I do in the trio, is a godsend. It's so convenient. So that combination gets used quite a lot. So that's that. There are pedals that are kind of song dependent, but it is kind of pick and choose. But there are pairs. So the governor and the double muff get used together. The governor and the golden plexi will get used together. The golden plexi and the DS2 will get used together. The governor and the DS2 will get used together. Sometimes I enjoy turning them all on and just having them all on. The wah pedal is when I feel like it. The uni vibe is when I feel like it. The delays are when I feel like it. Reverb is when I feel like it. Obviously, the harmony effect only gets used for the song Overcome. But yeah, that's it. Nice and simple. It's all powered by the Voodoo Labs Pedal Power 2 Plus, which has been my go-to pedal power supply for years. I absolutely love it to bits. And the pedal board it's on is a Diego pedal board, and these things are just absolutely solid as a rock. I love them. And I love the fact they're flat. I hate angled pedal boards. Like pedal trains are a big no-no to me. I cannot stand angled pedal boards. They drive me mental. They have to be flat. They have to be flat, otherwise I'm not interested. So, yeah, this has two little risers I've put on it, but other than that, that's it. So this is my main live pedal board at this point in time, PeopleTube. So, I'm going to leave the camera where it is so you can see what pedals I'm turning off and on. And I'm just basically going to go through them and let you hear what it sounds like. We're going into the Orange Super Crush 100 today. You're going to hear it's DI only, no mics on the cabs. And, yeah, let me know what you think in the comment section below. And as ever, thank you very much for watching, PeopleTube. If you like what I do on this channel and you feel like you'd like to support me, please consider becoming a Patreon. A link to my Patreon is in the description box below. It really helps me out. It really, really helps support me. And I'm so grateful to all the patrons on Patreon. It really means the world to me that that people actually do support me there. It's wicked, and I couldn't do this without you. I really couldn't. It just would not happen. So I'm so grateful. So thank you very much indeed. And like I say, if you like what I do here, please consider becoming a Patreon to help the channel. So yeah, is there anything else I need to say? No, there isn't. So let me show you the joy of this, because like I say, this is my happy place. And I've got another pedal board to show you as well soon, but it's not here at this point in time. So I'll show you that very, very soon, but not just yet. Anyway, Oh yeah, I'm also going to use the Fender ST62 as well today for all the sound examples because it seems to be the main guitar I'm using for the trio right now. Along with the Chapman Pro X and my red Oswald guitar. Those three guitars seem to be the go-to guitars for the trio right now. So anyway, let's go. Oh yeah, thank you very much. Goodbye. I'll see you again. Bye.